All right, good morning, gang. We have a new month, September 1st, in the tradingology.com trading room. Good to see you guys. As you guys know, we got a new link, so glad to see you made it. We'll get the ball rolling. Interesting little turn of events this morning, so give me a shout, make sure you know you can hear me. I believe you can. I have my speakers up for when Dave gets here. Yep, we're good. I have not heard from Dave yet this morning, so we'll see. He might be busy. We'll just move on. Andre, Kyle, good morning, guys. You can just give me a shout if you can hear me, make sure I'm good to go. We'll pull over and take a quick look at the spreadsheet from Market Timer. And I suppose if, oh, here comes Dave, there we go. All right, cool, thanks, Andre. I was just gonna say, if you can't hear me, how are you gonna tell me? So we have a little notification here, interesting, where we were talking about yesterday, how this ill-formed bullish herding has now been followed by the final cell being populated and a new bearish herding cell. So interesting there, where we have the quick turn, not a big jump in volatility, but MT volatility did go up a couple. So, and the flow and the pipeline is now filling back to full red. So that was definitely some bearish signals there. And looking at just quickly how the market opened, big gap down on the indexes, and the Dow actually pushed down a good 150 points right there in the open. But then the Fed came in and said, no, wait, we can't have the markets go down. We're gonna, everything's unlimited. So take those negative internals and make them positive. So they switched it right around on us. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning. Hope everybody's doing well.
Did you like my little mini play there? Market's not gonna let do that.
Yeah, play by play. Yeah, beautiful.
The Fed can't have that happen. I just found always looking for some interesting things, and if anybody thinks they're having a hard time figuring it out, don't worry, you're not alone, because even the people that are the hard bulls or bears with this unlimited Fed support, they don't know what to do either. They're taking away their targets. They're saying, well, at this point, I thought this one was good. Right after Oppenheimer was talking, you know, all these, the big guys, right? They're like, yeah, they're going to let it go, not until we're at full employment again, until they call it taking the punch bowl away, or just the unlimited quantitative easing. So just more money until it's at what, 3% unemployment rates again? That took 50 years to get to before.
Yeah, that could take, it could take a very, very, very long time.
So I like it, you know, what multiple do you put on it when they're not raising the rates?
And what do you do with, I mean, how do you value the stock market then? I mean, how do you put a risk on earnings if there's nothing to measure it against? I mean, you don't have a GDP that's growing. So really any earnings at all, like we saw with Zoom this morning. Zoom is like, oh my gosh, I think it was up $100 a share.
I didn't take a look at them. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, their business model is up crazy. They've got 50% of the market now.
Sure.
So Zoom is zooming.
Are they? Let me see. What are they? Yeah, there's. I want to pull up some curious. There we go. There's ZM. Holy cow!
Up even more now, huh? Yeah, $129.
125 point gap. It's up. Holy smokes! 40%.
Crazy. They have been the beneficiary of the lockdown. That's for
Right.
sure.
Right. Interesting.
All those Robinhood traders pushing up the price.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see how long that stays there. If it does stay in there, definitely. But yeah, like you say, how do you measure it? You know, it almost feels like the analogy I have in my head at the moment is a little kid with no consequences. You know, you do something wrong and you still get what you want. Companies do something wrong, they still get the Fed buying their stock.
Exactly. I mean, the Nasdaq is up pretty significantly. I don't know if Zoom is part of the Nasdaq, but it probably is because the Nasdaq is up 142 on the futures, and
Yeah.
so. But how do you measure risk in that environment? Any earnings at all, and Zoom had great earnings, and so they're skyrocketing. How do you measure other companies' earnings? If they make a penny, or even if they lose a penny when everybody expects them to lose a dollar,
Right.
they're going to do well. It's just an upside down world.
Yeah. The only
So the
interesting
only
thing on the
the only thing
calendar.
you got are the technicals.
Yeah, and if those don't play like they used to, that's why they're at a loss.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. The internals, I don't know if you mentioned them because I got in here kind of late. I put on a couple of trades. In fact, I bought the YM when it was down about 118 points. But the internals were negative right at the open, but boy, they turned around real quick.
Yeah, a couple large bars in there too. If we pull this in for only like an hour, usually they're the little stair steppers. These were big steps.
Yeah, yeah, those
Another
are fairly big. Yeah.
big one there. So
Yeah, and it wasn't real surprising to see us with negative hurting. And we yesterday, right at the end of the day, look at that sell off in the UVol.
oh yeah, that was
Down
crazy right at the close there yesterday. I'll pull
right at
over
the
yesterday's
close.
one. All of them
UVol.
just tanked about a half an hour before, 15 minutes before the end of the day there.
Yeah, and then the UVol, you can see that big lower after market.
All the orders came in and actually got accounted for there.
Yeah, pushed it down pretty significantly. So it's not surprising we saw a little bit of weakness this morning with the bearish hurting. But I think volatility is up a little bit only because of all of the wide-ranging bars that we have. So remember the volatility is a anticipation of how far the market's going to move on a percentage basis on the day. And we've had a pretty big move on both the Dow and the Nasdaq today. I don't know about the S&P. I don't have the S&P up. Oh, what you got there? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's up
that's up
10 points.
third of a percent, 0.3 up right now on the SPX.
Yeah.
Up a little bit higher than the Dow. The Dow is at 0.26, but the Nasdaq NDX over 1% up right now, even on this little red candle right now for this 10-minute.
Yeah, it was interesting this morning. I could kind of tell that things were gonna go up because I did in the Thinkorswim platform. I don't know if you use a scanner or not,
I
but I was
don't.
looking. I was looking for stocks on a percentage basis that were down more than 5%, and I had a lot yesterday. Today there was zero. So I had to adjust it to 2%, and I got like 4 stocks. That was it. And one of them was Nikola.
Don't get me started on them again.
Oh God.
I'll let you
Okay.
read Steven's comment there for a second. The one thing that we have on the calendar for today was only a manufacturing one, which was a good result because it beat the expectations for ISM manufacturing. So more orders coming in for building things. And do know personally from some people that are trying to build that it's hard to get materials, that's for sure. So
Oh yeah.
definitely going up on those because the demand is much higher than the supply currently.
Steven says, Dave, not sure if you covered this already this week, but how did your evaluation of VXX last week look? I've seen the spread in the call put showed a long signal, but the APTR and VXX indicator both still continue to decline. How did you trade it last week? I went long. I was long as we mentioned. In fact, did we talk about it after the trading room? I think we did because I
We
waited to
did.
the end of the day to do that trade.
Yep. You entered that one in the afternoon.
Yeah, and I went long the VXX spread, but I got out with a fairly small profit the day after or the day after that. I'm not sure. I didn't hold it very long.
Yeah, I think you had it in the RTOS and the real-time updates in the Slack channel that you went long on it.
Yes. By the way, hope you don't mind me sharing this, but I'm not. I'm going to do this only because I just find it kind of interesting. I'm sharing all of my trades on C2, except for the VXX trades. The only reason I'm not doing the VXX trades is because I don't want to give away the secret formula.
I did see that there was a new collective too, so I was wondering what was in your portfolio there, what you were leveraging for that. So very cool.
Yep. So that's the only thing I'm not going to put in there. All my other option trades are going to be in there, and some stock trades, but everything else will be in there. But VXX, the VXX system, I won't put in there. Well, no, Collective 2 doesn't have Nadex. It's only stocks, options, and futures.
No binary options in there.
No, they don't have. They don't have that. But yeah, so you can take a look, and I've been doing it since the end of July. Yeah, Nadex has been. Oh, good. Have you tried it, Stephen? Are you doing it? Cool. Good for you. Yeah, I got a little bored with it because I was up 287%, but it's still very small numbers. So it's like,
Hasn't lost yet. Good job, Stephen. I know Josh is trading him too. He was telling me, I'm like, well, between you two, maybe you can create this course because I think he's doing it slightly different than you are. I didn't get all the details from Josh, so I was going to talk to him more on it.
Yeah, talk to him. I'd love to add to my understanding and knowledge, but yeah, it's been very good. Very easy trade. You just go with the market. You just take a look at it, especially the internals. You look at the internals when they open. You look at the spreadsheet the night before, and you take some positions. I'm trying to get that 15, 20 delta. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely easier when there's bullish internals because when there's negative internals, you get a lot more volatility. It's a little trickier. Hey, BD.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Volatility starts to pick up. You got some large players in there looking to take some profits. Kind of hoping they put them into crypto.
That's actually moving up nicely this morning too. I'm seeing a few percentage movers across the board there. Bitcoin's up. Ethereum's making a nice move.
Yeah, Ethereum was up a lot. I saw XRP up over 4% at one point. That yesterday was up almost 8% and then kind of pulled back, and it's down a little bit today. But Bitcoin and everything else, and especially Ethereum's up nicely. Oh, here's one. I don't know if we talked about this or not, but I think we did. But Grayscale came out with their digital large cap fund. I think we covered it.
That does sound familiar, yes.
Yeah, it gapped up higher on the monthly chart. Keeps moving higher. So for you guys who cannot participate in cryptocurrencies for whatever reason, GLDC is the symbol.
Yeah, I'll pull that guy over here. I definitely know we had it up.
It's very, very low volume though.
Look at that jump.
Yeah. Well, wait a minute. That's not right. That's not Golden Enterprises.
GLDC.
GDLC.
Well, that's a nice gap, whoever that is.
Yeah, I know. Golden Enterprises. I never heard of that.
And they still got a question mark because their earnings don't come out until later.
Yeah. Wow.
Or do they have monthly earnings? No.
That looks like a dividend.
Yeah.
Yeah, dividend.
Wow.
3 cents a month, huh? And a gap higher besides.
Right? Double whammy. Who do we think it is? GDLC? Am I typing that wrong?
Yeah, GDLC.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was down there. I think it's relatively new. I just heard it announced about a month ago. So I don't know where that price data comes from, but maybe it was private data before maybe they were on the OTC. I wonder if they're still on OTC. Can't tell. Yeah, it's still OTC.
Oh, did have a question that I didn't know outside of had a few people asking me where you can get VeChain. And I know you have some of your own limitations in New York. It's only available, I get mine on Binance, but some people can't buy on Binance. Do you know of other locations where it's available?
Where I don't. What I've done is I've purchased either XRP or XLM because they are the fastest cryptocurrencies. And I do an exchange at ChangeNow.io.
So you're just doing the conversions where you can.
Yeah. There's another one, Changely. I don't find their conversion rates to be that good. Change Now is the best conversion rates I can find. The alternative, which I found out from another crypto enthusiast who will remain unnamed, had an old Binance.com account before they were kicked out of the US.
Yep.
And he used a VPN to connect to him through the UK.
Oh, they actually didn't close the account.
Yeah, and he ended up buying VET on there. So he just transferred some XRP or XLM over there and did the sale and conversion.
Gotcha.
I think he got a fairly decent rate.
Nice.
Yeah, but Change Now will not ask for the KYC stuff. They'll just convert to anything that you want. Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for that day where, finally, I mean, we've got the Brian Brooks from the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency came out and said banks can hold crypto.
Yeah, why can't we just do it?
What is stopping anybody now from holding any kind of crypto? Nothing. So I'm waiting for them to wake up. Let's do this.
It's time.
So we'll get into some kind of interesting stuff tomorrow. We'll do a little VXX maybe pre-open or before we kind of get into some of the other meat. But I want to talk to you guys a little bit about scaling positions and how to stay out of trouble. And some risk volatility stuff. Maybe we'll do a little lesson, maybe like a 10-minute lesson each trading.
I like it, especially with, you get a lot of people recently and everyone's prone to it where it's like, even that article I talked about earlier, doesn't matter who you are with this current market, whatever you want to call it, whatever we're in, whatever they're doing, it's a lot of the rules have changed. So people are looking for what to lean on. So I think that would help everybody. And I know just myself, just helping people reinforces things for myself. So I know it helps you helping other people because you just, if you want to learn something, teach it. That's the best way to learn something.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, I think that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, we'll do a little 10-minute kind of update lesson sort of thing. BD says, any Nadex videos on the horizon? Time. Clone me. I don't know.
Maybe I have to wake you up and be in a Zoom and I'll record it and while you just do what you do.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Well, let's see. For me, I was up at 5:30. So for you, what's that, 3:30?
4:30. We're just 1 hour difference, but that's still early.
Yes. But yeah, I'd love to do some Nadex videos. Nadex, I guess if you had if you wanted to risk less than $1,000, Nadex is great. But if you have any size account at all, you're better off going into the options market to do premium selling because just like the link, if you didn't see the link for the collective 2 up there, that's what I'm doing mostly for all of my trades these days. I'm just selling options. Number one, I only have to look at it once a day. So it's really kind of set and forget.
Is there a ceiling to the Nadex things? Like, do you run out of point of diminishing returns if you go with more contracts.
Yeah, well, what happens is the spread, when you're doing small contracts, you're doing 1, 2, 5 contracts, the spread between the bid and ask is so large, it doesn't make that much of a difference. When you get, I was doing 10, 20 contracts and the spread just, I mean, the spread was ridiculous. As soon as you got into a position, and I never could hit the mid, never. I could never hit the mid on those. Nobody took it. So you have to get in on the spread and the I mean on 10 contracts the spread could be as much as $250. So yeah, it gets pretty bad. So you can't really scale it. I got to the point where I was doing 10, 15 contracts. I couldn't scale it anymore because the bid ask was so bad.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So good for starting out, good for learning things, low risk. But then, like you say, if you want to, it's a good stepping stone. I would say it's a good tool, right?
It is a good tool to learn if you have an account, very, very small account, if you just want to try to test out some probability stuff. So you're looking at like a 15 delta. So you're taking like a risk of, you're putting up collateral of $85 to earn 15, but you're far away from the money. And typically, as long as you follow the spreadsheet and you follow the internals and you kind of expect you kind of look at what the expectation is for the market the next day, you'll be okay. The issue is you can't scale really, really. I mean, I couldn't do more than 10 contracts. The spread just killed me. The other thing is they expire every single day. You could do the weeklies, but those are too risky. But they expire every single day at 4:15, not 4 o'clock. That's another thing too. After the market closes, if you have earnings announcements or anything like that, it's going to move the market in those last 15 minutes, and you can be taken out of your position with a total loss. So,
So a similar way you can dip your toes in the water there, then you can scale up to options of what you're doing that you can follow
yeah,
effective too. Just
yeah.
like, and this reminds me of, just like we use the micros for the futures for MES, MNQ, we also now have options on the
Oh yeah,
micros.
yes. Thanks for reminding me.
So
Yes.
that's, we can either do that later this week or next week can be one of our little highlight training sessions.
Yes, the options on the micro E-minis. That's right, and that also puts into play the HOLM1 strategy,
Yeah, the total market,
the total market strategy. That's right.
which I will say too, I had at least one, I lose track because there's a lot of emails asking about the downloads. So yeah, nothing's been lost. I know that did get in the website upgrade, all the videos are there, but just some of the downloads, and obviously the market timer spreadsheet evolved since then and what spreadsheet was being used. So yeah, I will have some things back included into that HLLM1 program, so no worries there. Nothing is lost, just things got rearranged, and you will see that out there. And BD kind of must be thinking about it. He's talking about a refresher on the empty spreadsheet, so maybe we can pick a day. We'll just cover that and add it to it as well, kind of like the manual. Looks like he's read the manual, but seeing you work through it is very enlightening, he says. So it's all about being able to read that properly.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. There's every single column tells a different story. There are some that are more important, some that I prioritize, but definitely we could walk through that. Yeah.
So I'll take notes after here, and I think we got about a week's worth of content already. What we
Yes,
can help you guys with.
absolutely.
And I appreciate the emails. It does help us. So we're here to give you guys what you need. So if you guys got questions, let us know. And they lead to these, and we save them as recordings, and they're there to help other people. If you got a question, someone else does too.
Absolutely. And I appreciate Sharesh comment recently. Really appreciate it, Sharesh.
Absolutely. We all thank you, Dave, for sharing your knowledge.
I want everybody to be successful, that's for sure.
All right, gentlemen, with that, we're coming to the close to the top. And I think we'll wrap her up. Looks like just looking at back at the internals, it's stop at skyrocket, which we also see in the prices where they've reached a few points. So interesting how that works, right? acting as some resistance levels here where they stopped the rallies. At the same time, the internals rolled back. We're just kind of meandering in the middle here again. So that was the move of the morning.
Absolutely. We did comment yesterday before we go on the monthly close on cryptocurrencies. And as far as I can tell, Bitcoin, VET, XLM, XRP, and Ethereum all look very, very bullish. So I anticipate that the recent rally we've had over the last couple months will continue. Just my opinion, not financial advice.
Yeah, it looks like everything was green across the board, and they're already starting this month in the green for the majority of them.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right,
All right,
guys.
guys. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.
Thanks,
Bye.
BD. Appreciate it.
Guys. Thank you, BD.